Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a video that isn't necessarily sort of a list video, but this is kind of a generic video that a lot of people have made. However, I just want to sort of get my opinion on it out there and show you guys what my favourite sort of taunts are. So if you haven't guessed by what I just said or the title of this video, today's video is going to be my top 7 favourite taunts in Team Fortress 2. I know 7's a super weird number because it's not 5 and it's not 10, which is what most people generally tend to do. However, I feel like 5 doesn't give me enough room to show all my favourite taunts, and 10 is just too much considering the lack of taunts in the game. We're only going to be focusing on the all-class taunts in this episode specifically due to the fact that I might do like my top 5 favourite taunts for Scout, for Soldier, for whatever. So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below because there's so many taunts out there and it would be quite hard to sort of narrow them down for each class. But I feel like that's a whole nother series that could be made, and yeah, I'm not too sure if I want to yet. So if you'd like to see that, do let me know down below. However, today I'm just going to be covering some of my favourite taunts that are available to be used by every single class in the game. Now generally I do own these taunts. I actually believe I own every all class taunt. There's a few taunts I don't own, like the individual class ones that came out in the new update. I don't own any of those, but I'm fairly certain every all class taunt that's been implemented into the game is in my backpack, which is quite cool. So I have experience and have used all of these. So without further ado guys, let's get straight into the first taunt on this list. Coming up first on this list, we have the Conga Taunt. The Conga Taunt is of course an all-class taunt that can be done by everyone and is a really cool taunt. It plays some really nice music that when you do the taunt, and it can be joined in whenever someone sees it. Even if you don't own the taunt, it still can be joined in by everyone in the server that's within a nearby radius. So it's a really cool taunt, and as you can see, it's just a really nice happy taunt, and you can get a massive train of people going, which does look really fun. So definitely deserves its spot on this list. A really cool and actually underrated taunt to own. So next up on the list we have the Burst Chester Taunt. As far as I'm aware, excluding unusual taunts, the Burst Chester Taunt is the most expensive taunt on the market. It costs about 3 keys and 10 refined depending on who and where you buy it from, but it's a really cool all-class taunt, and as you can see, a sort of a creature that's very similar to the bread monster that's in the self-aware beauty mark and the mutated milk pops out of the mercenary's chest, and this is very similar for each class, as I'll show you it on another class now. For instance, let's go over to my spy and see it there. So I'll put the Burst Chester on, and as you can see, it's a very similar animation and does look really cool. Next up on the list we have the Square Dance Taunt. Now this taunt isn't really showcased very well here due to the fact that this taunt is of course a 2-player taunt, so I'll quickly put a clip up on the screen now of me doing the Square Dance Taunt with someone so you can really see what it is. But I love the music that plays, I really love the animations for each class. Each individual one has sort of like an individual pose, like when they're asking to dance and after the dance, and it's just a really nice feature and actually a really cheap taunt as well, so definitely deserves its spot on this list. So coming in at number 4 we have the Shred Alert. The Shred Alert is a really old taunt and has been in the game for absolutely ages. It's a taunt where every class just brings out a guitar and a bunch of flames come up behind them. You can't really see it in this taunt preview, but a lot of flames come up behind them in game, and it's just a really nice taunt. It plays a cool little guitar riff as well, and it's just a really nice taunt to have. I believe it's just under a key as well, so it's not too expensive, and it's just a really cool taunt. It looks really cool on every single class, and I believe most of them have the same animation for each class as well. So third on the list we have the Kazotsky Kick Taunt. If you don't know what this is, it's like the Russian dance taunt, and it plays some really cool music in the background when you're doing it in a server as well. It looks really cool in every class, and each class has their own little twist on the animation, such as I'll show you now. When the medic does it, for example, he kicks in a different way to the other classes, so I'll quickly show you that now. As you can see, he crosses his arms and kicks out straight, and as opposed we just saw the spy kicks out his legs to the left and the right. The medic also does this cool little like thing where he jumps up occasionally, and it just looks really cool in each class. They all have their own little spin on the taunt, and it's just really nice. So I'll quickly show you it on one more class now. And it, as you can see, the Pyro flops his arms about, and it's just really cool that each class has their own unique sort of take on this taunt. Coming in at number 2, the runner-up spot on this list, we have the Zoom in Broom Taunt. The Zoom in Broom Taunt came out last Halloween, I believe it may have been Halloween before, but essentially it's a taunt where the class just rides on a broom and they sort of levitate, and it's directional, so you can move with W, A, S and D, just like the Kozotski kick. You can actually move whilst you're doing it. It's a really cool taunt, and when you get a bunch of people doing it at the same time, it's just really fun. Unfortunately, you don't really go too fast, however, I just really like it. It's a really cool taunt and definitely deserves its spot on this list. So for the number 1 spot, I actually came into a server to show you this because honestly it's such a cool taunt and the music that accompanies it is just perfect. Of course, I'm talking about the Man Aerobics taunt. It's essentially a taunt where each class does sort of an aerobic style dance, and again it is fully directional using the WASD keys. They just sort of jog on the spot and clap their hands, but however every so often they will do an action that is unique to each class, so I believe they all have slightly different animations when they do the taunt, so I'll quickly show you it on Pyro now. As you can see, when you start the taunt they all have a really cool unique animation, and it's just a really nice taunt. It looks really cool on every class, and I believe it's about 2 keys, which is quite expensive honestly, but I think it's worth it because it's just perfect. Honestly, it's such a cool taunt and I honestly use it all the time. I'm really glad I've got one. So if you did enjoy this video guys, please do remember to leave a like. Let me know what your favourite taunts are in the comments below, or if I missed anything out. Let me know again if you'd like to see that individual class taunt series, and that's just about it. Thanks again so much for watching guys, and peace.